an opportunity to wind Cecil up has presented itself. So Cecil is driving across a bridge, and it's called Rain Man Movie Scene Bridge in Cincinnati. And while he's driving across that bridge, he's playing an interview that took place about 6 or 7 years ago, of an interview from 60 Minutes, and Tom Cruise kind of lost his rag during that interview. See, Tom Cruise is a bit of an a-hole, but that is probably going to wind Cecil up. So, you know, let's go into it a little bit. I'm going to play the video of that interview, and I'm actually going to play the advertisement that Tom Cruise done for Scientology, and it's the cringiest thing you've ever seen. I've already filmed this before, and it was all jumpy and stuff, so I decided to film it again. On the first take, I was had second-hand embarrassment for Tom. So let's get into it. Do I have to play? All right, here we go.
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions though, that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now. Okay?
Put your manners back in what would typically come from a Scientologist.
Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologise for that
Good.
sincerely.
Good.
What an asshole. Anyway. Where's this keyboard? Tom Cruise. Scientology. Video. If you haven't seen this video, this is fucking brilliant. It's comedy gold. And very embarrassing. Come on, baby.
But if that's what Mr. Cruise has brought to this world, there still remains one more word on the man. Call it Tom Cruise on Tom Cruise Scientologist.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn.
The first bit of cringe that I'd like to point out is the fact that he's talking about Scientology while this fucking Mission Impossible is playing in the background. It just makes it all the more fucking funny.
And because a Scientologist does, he or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions. Being Scientologist, you look at someone and you know absolutely that you can help them. So for me, it really is KSW, and it's just like, it's something that I don't mince words with that, you know, with anything that LRH does, but that policy to me has really gone, boy. And
if anybody doesn't know who LRH is, it's L. Ron Hubbard, the guy who started Scientology. He was a science fiction writer who came up with this cult, and it's fucking barking mad. It's flipping crazy, the ideology around Scientology.
And there's a time I went through and I said, you know what? When I read it, I just went, This is it.
He just went, this is it. This is the answer to all the world's problems. You would think that a person of that high standing wouldn't fall for all of this shit. But you would be surprised. There is a place in, in LA called the Celebrity Centre, and that, that is a celebrity centre for people like Tom Cruise in Scientology.
Is exactly it. Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help.
Apart from doctors and medical people. That doesn't make any sense. You see, Scientology is trying to save the planet, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. Actually, he hasn't made any sense at all in any of this video.
That's what drives me, is that I know that we have an opportunity and to really help for the first time, effectively change people's lives. And
how do you do that help, Tom? Get people into Scientology and make them sign a billion-year contract, and they work their asses off for $50 a week and don't get any time, and if any of their family members have any difficulties with their other family member being in Scientology, they have to disconnect from that. So, that's what they encourage. Disconnection, the breaking up of families, along with covering up some really, really dodgy stuff. Like, Danny Masterson, who was convicted for SA. And who did Scientology punish? Was it Danny Masterson? Or did they stand up for Danny Masterson in court? Or did they stand up for the victims? Guess who they stood up for? Danny Masterson. They actually attacked the victims. Because that's what they do. Confront and shatter, it's called.
I am dedicated to that. I'm absolutely, uncompromisingly dedicated to that. The orgs are there to help, okay? But we as also the public, it's like, we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs. It's not just Dave Miscavige. It's not just...
Tom is very, very big buddies with David Miscavige, who is the current leader of Scientology. And apparently he's a horrible person. There's a place called The Hole, which is a prison for Scientology people who have crossed the line. And there has been witnesses to say that this David Miscavige has bet people up, has physically assaulted them. Has he faced justice? No, he hasn't.
Not just me, it's you, it's everyone out there kind of rereading KSW and looking at what...
No. Anybody who doesn't know what KSW is Keep Scientology Working. That is it's a complete load of old shite. Keep Scientology Working. They like to put out that they have millions of people in Scientology. Apparently there's only about 25,000. So what is going on with all these big fancy buildings? Well, they're actually, a lot of them are actually empty. And in the United States, they have tax-free status. The protesters that have been out every night, in Hollywood Boulevard, outside the big blue building, which used to be a flippin' hospital, outside the Celebrity Centre, outside La Poubelle, the lady that owns that La Poubelle restaurant, wrote a character reference for flipping Danny Masterson and the recruitment centre on Hollywood Boulevard. All been protested every night for almost a year by YouTubers and TikTokers for very good valid reasons. And as well as that, a lot of these people that have been born into Scientology that got out are now telling their stories. Scientology doesn't really like that very much, do they? You know, and some of these flipping, the way that these people have been brought up in Scientology, it's heartbreaking. And it's going to take them a long time, if they ever get over being in this flipping human trafficking cult. And, you know, you have this book here, who's best friends with David Miscavige, you know, and, you know, shouting from the rooftops about Scientology, but won't talk about any of this, any of the abuse that happened in Scientology. I've got no respect for this man whatsoever. I think he's arrogant. And that was a massive bang, which it is Halloween, but that sounds an awful lot more than fireworks. So I'm kind of concerned.
Needs to be done and saying, okay, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? Period. And am I going to look at that guy or am I too afraid because I have my own out ethics to put in someone else's ethics? And that's all it comes down to. Because I won't hesitate to put ethics in on someone else, you know.
Of course you wouldn't. This is, they have been taught to snitch on bad behaviour, even if it was a husband and wife. In fact, if you know that your partner has done something wrong and you don't tell them, you could get punished for it. It's fucking mad. And this is cringe.
Because I put it ruthlessly in on myself. And I think that I respect that in others. And, you know, I'm there to help, and we're here to help. And my opinion is that, look, you're either on board or you're not on board.
You're here to help. What way are you here to help? Just being buddies with flipping David Miscavige and people get punishment if you walk into a room and anybody says hello Tom, because you're not allowed to say hello Tom, you have to say hello Mr. Cruz, because David Miscavige put you on a high big pedestal. You know, at the time of this interview he got this big medal and it was as big as a fucking toilet seat, and it doesn't mean anything at all.
Okay, but just, if you're on board just like the rest of us, period. We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the...
No. I've heard an awful lot of dodgy things about your foundation for getting people off drugs. I've heard a lot of dodgy stuff that I'm not going to get into right now. But authorities on the mind, these people believe that psychiatrists belong in prison. They're criminals. It's fucking crazy.
Authorities on improving conditions.
Improving conditions. You have these people, you bring these people into Scientology promising a better life for them, and they're working the rest of their lives signing out a billion-year contract. Yes, I know it doesn't make fucking sense, but apparently when you die, it's called dropping the body, and you pick up a new body. So you live over and over again, sort of thing. But conditions. People living in little dorms, little tiny little rooms, bunk beds, fucking getting $50 a week. Improving conditions, while the church builds houses for L. Ron Hubbard who died in 1986. And that money that was spent building those houses for L. Ron Hubbard that died in 1986 is coming from Scientologists who are fucking encouraged to pay thousands of pounds for the bridge to total freedom. And the what do you call them things? There's levels, right? There's 1 to 8 levels, and you have to the name slips my mind at the moment, but you have to pay thousands of dollars to get to these levels and stuff like that. And if you can't afford it, you have to take out loans to fucking pay for this shit. Scientology has flipping taken out loans on behalf of some of these people in Scientology. So basically they're committing fraud. You know, it's fucking mad. And Tom doesn't explain any of this in this fucking stupid video advertising Scientology. In fact, he doesn't say much at all. It's a load of old wobble. And it's fucking cringy.
Criminon, we can rehabilitate criminals.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Fucking Scientology is a criminal organisation itself. You cover up for criminals. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do. You cover up for criminals. You stand up for Danny Masterson in court while attacking the fucking Jane Does, the victims.
Way to happiness, we can bring peace and unite cultures. That once you know these tools and you know that they work,
it'll bring you to the bridge of total freedom, which is a load of old bollocks.
It's not good enough that I'm just doing okay. Traveling the world and meeting the people that I've met, you know, talking with these leaders in various fields. They want help, and they are depending on people who know and who can be effective and do it. And that's us. That is our responsibility to do that. It is the time now. Now is the time, okay? It is, being a Scientologist, people are turning to you, so you better know it. You better know it. And if you don't, you know, go and learn it.
Oh, that landed badly. Boy, do I have... Oh, that is embarrassing, Tom. Fucking hell, that's so embarrassing. That did not land well. That did not land... You didn't plan that at all, did you, Tom? Fucking hell. Oh.
And do it. And that's us. That is our responsibility to do that. It is the time now. Now is the time, okay? It is, being a Scientologist, people are turning to you, so you better know it. You better know it. And if you don't, you know, go and learn it.
Oh, you missed so badly. Oh, I've got second-hand cringe for you, Tom. That was diabolical.
But don't pretend you know it, or for, you know, whatever. It's like, we're here to help. I mean, if you're a Scientologist, you see life, you see things the way they are. In all its glory, you know? All of its complexity. And the more you know as a Scientologist, you don't become overwhelmed by it. And,
I can't believe fucking Scientology put this out as an advertisement for Scientology. It's fucking embarrassing. It really is. But maybe it's a good thing.
You know, they said, so, like, have you met an SP? I looked at...
An SP is a suppressive person. That is anybody that talks badly about Scientology. So I guess I'm an SP now. But I think it refers more to people who've left Scientology and started talking shit on the internet after they got out. Which fair play to them, to be honest with you. But what happens to SPs is sometimes Scientologists stalk them at work and at their houses and stuff like that. It's fucking disgusting, like.
You know, and I thought, oh, what a beautiful thing, because maybe one day it'll be like that. You know what I...
No, it will never be like that, Tom, because there's only about 25,000 people in Scientology right now. Not the millions that they try to make out that there is. It's a load of old shit. And once their tax exempt status is taken away in the United States, then you're in deep shit.
What I'm saying, maybe one day it will be that. Wow, SPs, like, they'll just read about those in the history books, you know?
No, Tom. There's more SPs outside Scientology now than there is current Scientologists. So stop talking shite, Thomas.
You know, the thing is, I just go through that tech, and it's not how to run from an SP. It's PTSSP, how to shatter suppression, confront shatter suppression. You apply it, it's like boom.
Yeah, confront and shatter is going after people that left Scientology and be talking shit about them and stalking them outside their house and outside their workplace. That's what shatter and suppression kind of means. Oh, Thomas.
Because they don't come up to me and do that. They won't do it to me. Not to my face.
They won't do it to you because you're a thick flipping, you're a thick and ignorant person, and you've got your head up your own arse because you're friends with David Miscavige. And as well as that, Tom gets everything done for him by Scientologists. All his housework, all that shit, and what did these people get paid? $50 a week, folks. Well, that fucker is a millionaire, fucking famous movie star, fucking main star in Top Gun and all your favourites from back in the 80s and 90s, and I thought he was fucking great. No respect for this man anymore after all the stuff I found out about him.
Or anywhere in my vicinity where they feel they can be confronted, you know. There's no doing. Look, I wish the world was a different place. I'd like to go on vacation and go and romp and play and just do that. You know what I mean?
Romp and play. I'd like to go on vacation. Tom can go on vacation anytime he wants because he's got loads of money.
I mean, that's what I want it to be, okay? That's how I would, you know, there's times I'd like to do that, but I can't.
Stop talking shite. You're too busy with Scientology to go on vacation. Tom, stop talking shite. This is so fucking embarrassing. He hasn't actually said anything in this fucking advertisement for Scientology. It just makes people fucking confused.
Because I know. So...
You know what? Exactly.
You know, what you know.
You know what you know. What the fuck? This is a famous actor, folks. World famous actor, and he's talking like this. This is so fucking embarrassing. And Cecil was going to say now that, oh, you're just jealous because you're not a famous actor like this clown right here. This clown is in an organisation that is a human trafficking cult that has covered up the crimes of SA on children and women and the physical abuse of the members inside. And they, you know, a lot of the time, a lot of these people just sip it up. They just fucking take it because that's part of Scientology. And there's this thing called, if you get attacked on the street as a Scientologist and you come into the Scientology building, you're talking to your ethics officer and you say to your ethics officer, I got attacked in the street today. You know what the ethics officer is going to ask you? First and foremost, what did you do to take that in? So every time it's your fucking fault. And that's why a lot of these SA crimes get covered up, get dismissed, nobody believes them, they get punished, etc. It's disgusting.
I have to do something about it. It's not... You know, you can sit here and wish it was different, and then you look at it and you go, okay, this is it. All right, okay. And there's that moment where you go, you know, I have to do something, don't I? Yeah, I really have to do it because I can't live with myself if I don't. And that really is it. I don't care if someone thinks it's hard or easy. It's you're either helping and contributing everything you can, or you're not. Okay?
Don't. Just, you're not, is the best answer to that. Tom hasn't fucking explained anything about Scientology. He just came out with a load of old shite. And Scientology going, yeah, well done, Mr. Cruz, well done. Fucking hell, it's cringe and embarrassing.
Because I'm carrying my load, all right? And only that.
There's a joke in there somewhere. Tom, you're embarrassing yourself carrying your load. Oh boy.
As much as I'm carrying, I still feel like I gotta do more, all right? There's still a thing of, let's go. You can just see the look in their eyes. You know the ones that are doing, you know, and you know the spectators who are the ones that are going, well, it's easy for you, or what am I doing? And it's just, that thing is, I've canceled that in my area. It's like...
I've cancelled that in my area. Oh dear. Go on,
Man,
Tom.
you're either in or you're out. That
You're either in or you're out. That's the second time you've mentioned that. I'm out, thank you.
Spectatorism, and it's something that is, we have no time for it now. So it's our responsibility to educate, create the new reality.
And just fill people up with a load of old shit. And get people to sign billionaire contracts to go on a fucking a stinky old ship, or fucking dedicate their life to working for Scientology for fucking $50 a week, or sometimes less. It's fucking disgusting, Tom. It's fucking disgraceful.
You know, we have that responsibility to say, hey, this is the way it should be done, because we do it this way and people are actually getting better.
And if you don't do it this way, you're going in the hole, and David Miscavige may or may not punch you in the face.
And let's get it done. You know, let's really get it done and have enough love, compassion, and toughness that you're gonna do it. And do it right.
There's been rumours, which I'm not going to confirm or deny, that Tom Cruise has punched a few people in Scientology too, from their version of misbehaving. But I'm not, I'm saying allegedly at this point.
I have to tell you something. I really, it is, you know, it's rough and tumble, and it's wild and woolly, and it's a blast. It's a blast. It really is fun.
Oh, this is embarrassing. He hasn't said anything for the whole 9 minutes of this fucking advertisement for Scientology. Nobody's any the wiser after fucking him just rambling out all this shite.
Because damn it, there is nothing better than to going out there and fighting a fight, and suddenly you see things are better. I want to know that I've done everything I could every day. And I think about those people out there who...
Do you think about your children and your ex-wife that had to sneak out of Scientology while were away on a film shoot to get away from Scientology, Tom? I know it's a sore subject. Was it 2 wives? Ooh. You know, in the background things aren't going so good, Tom, are they? Apparently your children don't want to know you. For some fucking reason. And it's because you're caught up in this stupid cult with your buddy David Miscavige. But
who are depending on us. And I think about that. And it does make me feel like, man, there's, you know, we got more work. I need more help. You know, get those spectators either in the playing field or out of the arena, you know. That's how I feel about it.
I don't know why you found that funny at all. This is so embarrassing.
I do what I can, and I do it the way I do everything. There's nothing part of the way for me. It's just...
A Scientologist can be defined by a single question. Would you want others to achieve the knowledge you now have? In answering that question, Tom Cruise has introduced LOH technology to over 1 billion people of Earth.
Are you
And that's
fucking
only...
serious? Stop! 1 billion! When I said millions, I was way off the mark, wasn't I? 1 billion! Do you know how many Scientologists there are in the world right now? And there's about 25,000 or less in the whole fucking world. That is fucking bollocks. Absolute bullshit. God, that is so embarrassing.
The first wave is unleashed, which is why the story of Tom Cruise, Scientologist, has only just begun.
That's embarrassing. Holy Christ. Let me see. This interview that Cecil was listening to while he was passing that bridge. Tom. $60. Now, the piece that Cecil was playing while he was going across this bridge was an interview from 60 Minutes, and the interviewer felt that if he didn't go to the Scientology Center and take part in what was going on there, that he wouldn't get the interview. So he was kind of coerced into going, and the interviewer brought that up in the interview, and Tom says, well, you made the choice to go. When the interview says, well, I felt like I had to go. Do you know?
It was precious time with Hollywood's biggest star. An interview with Tom Cruise about his new film, War of the Worlds. There's no doubt the movie will be a success, with Cruise as the leading man and Steven Spielberg in the director's chair.
When I seen this interview, my respect for Tom Cruise kind of went out the window because he let his temper run away with him. I kind of sort of, you know, he was more important and how dare you ask it, and, you know, put your manners back in and all the rest of it. You could see his temper, you know, kind of losing it a little bit.
But before we sat down, there was an unusual request.
Yeah.
An invitation to a session on Scientology, the controversial religion Tom's been following for the past 20 years. So I went, and then I met him. And that's when I discovered there's another side to Tom Cruise, that when he's angry, the cool man of Hollywood can become downright icy.
Yeah.
There's a saying in Hollywood, name 3 actors who can guarantee you a box office smash. Answer, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise.
I feel the need for speed.
That was one of my favourite films as well.
And Tom Cruise.
Show me the money!
Show me the money! Fucking have that one of them pictures in a recent thumbnail I done on Cecil. Show me the money!
For half his life, he's been the biggest movie star in the world. His films, even the bad ones, routinely rake in more than $250 million. In a business where the bottom line is the only line, Cruise is king.
I think I feel, you know how I feel? I feel privileged. That's how I feel. I feel I live a privileged life.
Do you know why Scientology has a celebrity centre? Because if Scientology gets these celebrities into Scientology, that's money in the bank. That's contributions. These famous people contribute millions to Scientology to buy fucking buildings with no people in them. You would be flipping shocked to see some of the buildings that Scientology have with hardly any staff in them because they don't have enough staff to run these buildings. But they like to make out that 1 billion people have been touched by Scientology. I don't think so.
At 42, he's one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, in control of everything and everyone he encounters.
How are you?
Hey, Tom.
Peter. How you been?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Long time.
I know.
Yeah, take a
How you
seat.
been?
You're
Where do you
there.
want me to sit?
But today, that famous cruise control will be tested.
You're stepping over a line now.
Okay.
You're stepping over a line. You know you are. I'm just telling you right now, put your manners back in.
Tom Cruise is used to getting what he wants. He was still a child when he first set his sights on Hollywood.
I wanted to be an actor when I was about 4 years old. Yeah, 4 years old. I thought about it. It was the first time I thought of being an actor. I was living in St. Louis. That was the very first time I thought about being an actor. It just evolved. I wasn't necessarily thinking of this. I mean, I didn't plan this out. This just happened.
This boy from a broken home set himself a deadline to achieve success, and he didn't have to wait too long. In 1981, in his first film, Taps, the director was so impressed with the young Cruise, he gave him someone else's part.
It's beautiful, man! Beautiful! You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
He never looked back.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
In more than 30 films, he's given us some of the most iconic movie moments of the past 2 decades.
I love you. You complete me.
Just shut up. You had me at hello.
But off-screen, Cruise has devoted much of his power, influence and substantial wealth to the Church of Scientology. It's a controversial religious philosophy based on the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard. Scientologists believe we are spiritual beings in control of our own destiny, and that therapies like psychiatry wrongly label individuals. The message struck a chord with the young Cruise at a time when he was struggling with dyslexia.
I had what absolutely they defined as learning disabilities, dyslexia.
That's what you were diagnosed that you had?
Sure, absolutely. That's what they do. They, you've got ADD, ADHD, and you go, what is the solution to that? Well, there isn't a solution. And now today it's take drugs. They actually wanted to put me on drugs. My mother wouldn't let them back then. And then when a friend of mine actually gave me this, it was actually this picture book about suppression, and social and antisocial personalities, and I was like, what is this? This is Scientology. I said, I'm very interested. And that's when I became a Scientologist, about 20 years ago.
Scientology do not agree in psychiatric treatments or things like antidepressants is frowned upon. We look into the Lisa McPherson case, and the beliefs of Scientology around psychiatric help and psychiatric drugs. Scientology will never get away from the Lisa McPherson case. I'm not going to go into it in this video. If you type it into YouTube, there's loads of videos on it. It was a woman who died in the care of Scientology. There was a hospital nearby that she could have went to, but they wanted to take her to a hospital where there was a Scientology doctor, which was further away.
It has obviously had a massive impact on you.
No, it was significant. You look at as a father, as a actor, as a businessman, every level. It's something these tools that I apply absolutely every day.
I've done my fair share of celebrity interviews, and often you'll be asked to meet certain requirements, like watch the movie that the star is promoting. But this is something new. Tom Cruise's office has asked me to come to the...
I've seen that place so many times, and I've seen that street so many times, because I watched the live streams from the Scientology, ex-Scientology protesters, or the people protesting Scientology. It's been happening for almost a year now, where these people on a daily basis go out and live stream their protest of Scientology. So you got the Celebrity Centre, you got the big blue building, which is the big hospital looking thing, and that would be on most brochures to do with Scientology. Is the big flagship building, the big blue building, used to be a hospital. And then there's the recruitment centre, which I don't know if it's reopened and that, but it had to close down because there were so many protesters outside and stuff like that.
The Scientology Celebrity Centre in Los Angeles to embark on a 4-hour crash course in Scientology and what it's all about.
That's fucking disgraceful, like. That he was pushed into doing this. But then again, by doing this, at least he got an insight into it. Do you know?
Why then was it a condition of me talking to you today that I had to spend quite an intense 4.5 hours in the Church of Scientology here in Los Angeles?
Oh, you didn't have to. You could have said no.
And then you wouldn't have got an interview. That's the thing. Do you know? Tom was trying to fucking rub this off. Oh, you had a choice. Yeah, he did have a choice, but he wouldn't be able to get this interview then. It was either go to the Scientology building or you won't get the interview.
I felt I had to.
Okay, well that's how you felt. People are interested.
It's not on me, it's on you. It's a typical Scientology thing. if you are walking down the street and you get beat up on that, and you go into your ethics officer and say, I got beat up down the street today, the ethics officer, the first thing they're going to say is, what did you do to pull that in? In other words, it's your fault. So if you're a victim of SA or anything like that, you must have pulled it in. It's a disgusting fucking way of thinking.
Interested in Scientology, and I find that people wanted to know. They want to know about it. And it's also, there's people out there that want help and that need help.
Would you also agree, though, Tom, that there's a perception out there that it gets bad press? Cult-like secrecy, controlling, and you almost have to defend it.
This interview, well, it seems to be 6 years ago. It could have been longer. It was Peter's infamous interview with Tom Cruise, 60 Minutes. This might have happened more than 6 years ago. But you think back then they had bad press. Now they have even more bad press. It hasn't changed. It's even got worse.
I don't feel it's ignorance breeds bigotry.
Right.
Breeds racism. Okay. You have been there and you've seen it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you feel discriminated against when people say this is what Scientology is, that you're a bunch on a lunatic fringe or whatever? Does that...
Peter?
Tom?
No one's ever said that to me.
Oh. You see, Tom Cruise is held in high regard in Scientology. And if you say the wrong thing, it's not going to end well for you. And this interviewer has quite clearly crossed the line here. And he's getting a bit angry. Tom, have you hit any Scientologists while, your buddy fucking assaulted a number of Scientologists? You can't say that fucking David Miscavige hasn't hit anybody. There's loads of people that came out and said, I was fucking insulted by David Miscavige. Nothing was ever done about it.
But no, I mean that perception out there.
Yeah, but that's not the perception out there. That is absolutely, maybe from your perspective.
This isn't my personal opinion. I'm just saying, how do you feel about that when people...
Well, how would you feel?
Oh, if it was my faith, I'd feel
really... Not even your own faith. I find that appalling when people who don't know what they're talking about say things like that. I think it's appalling. I think it's
appalling that this guy is standing up for a human trafficking cult that has loads of victims that are now coming out and telling their story. And it's fucking harrowing. And this guy's standing up for all this shit. And this guy's, he's a great man because he's a famous actor and all the rest of it. This side of Tom Cruise isn't very good at all.
Appalling that they're still burning synagogues in France. I think it's appalling how certain Muslims are being treated. I think it's absolutely appalling when we talk about freedom of speech and human rights. I think it's appalling that they electric shock people. I think it's appalling that they drug children.
I think it's appalling that Scientology puts people in a fucking little prison. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to. And they say that they don't, all they want. It was spotted on Google Maps, and people that have been out of Scientology says, that's the place where I was held. And I had to sleep on the floor. And David Miscavige came in and punched me in the face or whatever. That carry-on exists. And this guy's standing up for all this shit. It's fucking, I think it's disgusting.
I think it's appalling that they say that there are no solutions for those things. I think it's appalling that people have to live a life of drug addiction, okay, when I have personally helped people get off drugs.
I heard a lot of dodgy things about their drug rehabilitation program, actually. Apparently it's a bit sus.
It's obvious Tom Cruise is a passionate man, especially passionate when it comes to his own family. He's determined his adopted kids, Isabella and Connor, will have as normal an upbringing as possible.
Your family life was difficult. You're estranged from your father and your mum and dad were divorced. Has that had an impact on you as a dad, how you bring up your children?
Your children?
I'm hoping to.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I hope I can.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. You know, absolutely. I've got a great mother and a very close family, and it's something that I always wanted to be a father. You know, and I think that one of the great things that we've done with our children is allowing them to be themselves.
Is that hard, to give them a perspective that they are like the kids down the road, even though their parents are who you are? Here's
the point. Everybody's different, Peter. I don't buy into this whole thing of being normal. There's no such thing as normal. When you really...
I'm not sure Nicole Kidman was in Scientology with Tom and she escaped and quickly divorced him. But Katie Holmes was also in Scientology and also had to escape Scientology behind fucking Tom Cruise's back. You know, some of these kids that Tom Cruise has are estranged from Tom for this very reason, that his connections with David Miscavige and the cult of Scientology.
You look at someone's life and you look into their life. Everyone has a story.
Yeah.
Everyone has something that is going on that is very unique to them. So that, with regards to our children, it's you know, I think they feel very fortunate for the life they have, and they're really good people. I'm really proud of them.
Of course, the Cruise children are Australian citizens and spend much of their time here with their mother, Nicole Kidman. But it was when our conversation turned to Nicole that the cool man of Hollywood turned icy.
Now, Nicole, when you were married, it was like you were an adopted part of Australia. Do you still have a connection to Australia?
Yeah, well, my children are Australian, you know. Absolutely. I have a lot of friends in Australia. I love Australia.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. You know, I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Well, I suppose they're questions though, that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know.
Did he step over the line, or is he trying to figure out why did Nicole leave? And I'm nearly sure that Nicole left because of this Scientology shit. And is it Nicole Kidman or Katie Holmes' father was a very big lawyer, and the divorce was fucking finalised extremely quickly. I think it was Katie Holmes, as far as I know. But Tom is letting his temper slip here.
Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now. Okay, just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize.
You see, Tom has to be in control at all times. Do you know?
Apologise for that sincerely.
Good.
I admired her, and I thought that I wanted to meet her.
Yet seldom a week goes by when Tom Cruise's private life isn't very publicly displayed.
Tom, Tom, does that mean you're going to ask her to marry you? Does that mean you're going to ask her to marry you, Tom?
In this
Oh no, this is the interview where he jumps on the couch and makes a fool of himself.
recent appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show, he openly, and some have said over-enthusiastically, declared his love for new girlfriend Katie Holmes.
That's how I feel about it.
Do you believe in your role that there is a place where the world does want to know about your personal life and there is a line that you have to draw?
Absolutely. I mean, I know people are interested, and I don't have a problem with that. And I also don't have a problem to say, hey, listen, you know, where I am with Nick is in a great place. I don't mind answering questions, but there's a way of phrasing something that's polite and has manners, and things that I say, you know what, I wouldn't answer that to someone coming up to me at a party.
Yeah.
I have no problem. Of course I know people want to know about my life.
Yeah. But when I read so much about you, Tom, these are questions you answer.
Peter, you want to waste your time on this right now?
I don't.
Or do you want to ask some other questions?
20 years' time, where will Tom
Peter,
Cruise?
Good. You want to move on? Peter, come on. Let's go, man.
That's Tom trying to, you know, he has to be in control all the time.
And so we did.
That our world was being watched.
Get down! Just get up! Get down! Get...
To Cruise's new movie, War of the Worlds. A $200 million remake of the H.G. Wells classic. Teaming up with the most bankable director in the world, Steven Spielberg, Cruise plays a father trying to save his family amid an alien invasion.
I love him as an actor, and he's a very underappreciated natural actor. I mean, he plays, you know, bigger than life hero characters in many of his films, but he's never played a dad. And he's a great father. I know him more as a father than in a professional working experience. I'd known him since '83, and I knew Tom when he first adopted his first two kids, and so I really felt that this part suited Tom to a T.
Take care of our kids.
Rachel?
Dad,
Sweetheart?
who's carrying?
I need you to get your suitcase.
Who's the star in this? Is it the aliens, the Martians, or is it Tom Cruise?
I never kind of look at it like that. It's a story. It's a story about this family. The aliens are spectacular. The tripods are spectacular. The sequences are spectacular. But at the bottom of any story, if you don't have those characters that you want to follow as an audience, that's really what I invest in when I'm seeing a movie.
Just take those old records off the shelf.
It's been an extraordinary life so far. Cruise's wealth is estimated at $450 million, and his 10% take from War of the Worlds could add another $100 million. But
That's a lot of money for Scientology. But I'm going to finish that one at that. But I just find it interesting that Cecil brought up this interview while driving across this bridge, and I thought, you know, maybe he's a fan of Tom Cruise, so I just rattled his feathers a little bit and just tell him a couple of home truths about his connections with Scientology, and which is a human trafficking cult, and is not in very good standing with the wider community right now, especially with the controversy around the Danny Masterson convictions and stuff like that, and the way Scientology stood by Danny Masterson and attacked the victims, and this is what Tom Cruise supports, a cult that will cover up crimes like that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I've gone on long enough in this video. I will talk to you again really soon.